What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So remember earlier this week, many people were shocked that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, NBA legend, picked Oscar Robertson over Magic Johnson as his GOAT at point guard. Well, a couple of days ago, I don't know if this has been known. It's funny because this tells you that there is a new age agenda in a certain light, but I'll get there later on. But Kareem did an about face and said when he thought about it a little bit more, he went with Magic Johnson. This is what he said. So I'll put a link to this article in a pinned comment in the comment section below, in the pinned comment. So in a follow-up video he released after making that stance, Abdul-Jabbar explained his change of stance and what he overlooked when making his comment. He admitted that it's nearly impossible to gauge who's better between Magic, Steph, and Oscar, but he feels he should have given it to Magic in the first place considering what they have accomplished together. I was asked earlier this week who was the best point guard in the NBA. A very difficult question. Steph Curry was mentioned. He's the best three-point shooter in the NBA these days and a very valuable player. And people also mentioned Magic Johnson. I picked Oscar Robertson, but I should have said first of all that Magic really should get the priority because I played with him. He won 5 world championships together, and he's my best teammate ever. So I can't put anybody else in front of him, but I have to give credit to Oscar for being the complete player that he was, and an example for a lot of players that come up behind him. It's almost impossible for me to determine who's the best between all these guys, but I can tell you why that's the success I enjoyed with Magic. So, he really didn't flip-flop. He just said, I should have given more credit to Magic, but I also want to give a shout out to Oscar. So, these titles are kind of clickbait because, he didn't really flip-flop if you listen to what he said. He gave, really what he did is he introduced Oscar Robertson to the debate because I've said that before. I've said this before. I've said, man, to be honest with you, Oscar Robertson has a case for GOAT point guard, and I get laughed at when I say it. So I'm glad that a guy who people will respect, I guess, when Kareem will say that. I mean, Oscar Robertson, was carrying teams that didn't really have a lot of talent compared to some of these other teams for the bulk of his career. And it's rather telling that, like Wilt, when you put him with a great player, all of a sudden he's going to the finals. All of a sudden, the Bucks are going to the NBA finals or the conference finals. When he was in Cincinnati and he didn't have a lot of talent around him, he wasn't doing as well. So that just goes to show you, man, no great player can win it all by himself. He just can't. But anyway, I'm glad that Kareem gave a nod to Oscar. I mean, Oscar was a great all-around player, which is what LeBron is, but just not as complete as Oscar. And I know he said something about Oscar having what he considers three-point range, and the person who wrote this article said, well, the thing is, Oscar just, the three-point shot wasn't as utilized back then. No, there was no three-point shot when Oscar played, man. That wasn't until 79-80. So this is just what I'm talking about, man. You got people writing articles that don't really know what they're talking about, man. That's why whatever, man. Whatever. That's why so many of these people are misinformed, man. But, Oscar was very complete, man. I mean, like Kareem said, he had range out to the modern day three-point line. One of the great mid-range shooters. Great, excellent post game. Phil Jackson said he and Michael had the best post games he's ever seen of a guard. At least he was an average defender, but not great. Excellent passer, excellent playmaker, high basketball IQ, great, exceptional rebounder for his position. What do you want from this guy? He does things that Steph can't do. So yeah, Steph has championships, but then again, Oscar didn't play the bulk of his career with a Klay Thompson or a Kevin Durant or the all-around talent or the deep benches that the Warriors have had. So I don't know, man. It is what it is. Tell me what you guys think.